Hello ladies and gentlemen and welcome back to Continental Aspire Soccer. Today we'll be giving you the facts and inside info on Le Havre, the youthful home of Paul Pogba, Riyad Mahrez, Dimitri Paet and more. Before we begin, remember to subscribe to Continental Aspire Soccer on YouTube, follow us on all of our socials and check out our online football course. Let's begin. Le Havre is a major French port in the north of France. Just 172,000 people live in the area, which is less than British seaside town Ferland. Le Havre have a historic cultural significance. The small city was a key area in the Battle of Normandy during World War II. After 1945, a lot of the town had to be rebuilt after being completely devastated by the war. The football club in the area, Le Havre, has history going back even further. It's one of the world's oldest clubs, being founded in 1872. Despite this, the club has never won Ligue 1, spent most of the time in the second tier, and won just 2 French Cups in this time. This makes what the club have achieved in terms of youth development even more remarkable. Le Havre are in the top 20 clubs across the world for players produced who play in Europe's top 50 teams. And what's outstanding is that rather than the Chelsea or Real Madrid recruiting young players from across the world, they either take local talent and transform them into world beaters. Marseille legend Steve Mandanda, the excellent French goalkeeper, was picked up from an amateur side just 100 miles away in 2000. He spent time at Le Havre from age 15 to 23 years old. In the same year group was Lassana Diarra, the defensive midfielder who played for Real Madrid, PSG, Arsenal, Chelsea and Marseille. He joined Le Havre fairly late at age 18, but nevertheless, Le Havre were pivotal in Diarra's success. The midfielder had been turned down by 4 other clubs before his 18th birthday, who all said he was too small and weak. Le Havre took him in though, and he was outstanding, and the rest is history. Dimitri Paet is another who can count the French port as a temporary home. At age 12, Paet moved from Réunion, a French island in the Indian Ocean, to France and subsequently Le Havre. He spent 4 years in the academy from 12 to 16, yet Paet actually had quite a bad experience, admitting he failed to behave properly at the club, and the coaches actually ended up labelling him as finished. Thankfully, this harsh experience helped Paet mature and nurture out some of the bad behaviour he displayed in his youth, which greatly helped him later on in his career. The undoubted most successful players though to graduate from Le Havre are Paul Pogba, Benjamin and Ferland Mendy and Riyad Mahrez. Le Havre not simply taking undeserved credit either. This was the place that a 16-year-old Pogba was spotted by Manchester United scouts, captaining the youth team and impressing the United onlookers. Riyad Mahrez joined the club a bit later at age 19. He worked his way up from the youth team to the first team, but he had a big hurdle to overcome. When Mahrez joined Le Havre, the fans absolutely hated him. He was weak, he was small, he was way too selfish with the ball. Even though he displayed that amazing dribbling ability, he never let it go at the right time. By the time of his departure to Leicester though, Le Havre had helped Mahrez mature into the player we see today. This begs the question, what does Le Havre even do differently to some of the other academies from across Europe? Well, Le Havre have a rather unique focus. While Barcelona may put emphasis on passing play, or Chelsea putting emphasis on technical ability, Le Havre have set a completely different priority. The current technical director, Michel Brunel, puts the success of their graduates down to footballing intelligence. Le Havre believes football starts with the head and not the feet. You need to be intelligent, and the mission is to help intelligent players make the most of their qualities every single day. They aim to complete this mission with the early ages, giving them a head start on some of the other players from across Europe. Brunel says, intelligence means that if you know how to pass, how to control, how to shoot, but you have no idea of what is happening around you in the game, then you are not a top player. This is not just all talk from the director either. He has overseen the club's affairs since 2007, and in this time, Mahrez and both the Mendys came through at the club. Continental Aspire Soccer were able to gain access to some of the inside plans of Le Havre. The club are extremely engaged with northern France, as this is where over 90% of their talent pool comes from. As they are a side in Ligue 2, they lack the links to other European sides and are unable to set up an international scouting network. Instead, they regularly visit schools and run a wide array of different programs within them. They aim to give 150 local goalkeepers between the ages of 11 and 13 an individual training drill every season with one of the top coaches. 6 times a season, under 11 players from around Normandy will train with the senior sides of the men's and women's team. Le Havre have a head of daily life and schooling, which makes sure everyone in the academy not only stays on top of academic work, but exceeds in it. This builds into their philosophy of footballing intelligence, which makes sure everyone in the academy not only stays on top of academic work, but exceeds in it. This builds into their philosophy of footballing intelligence. Even during 2020, players had to log in every single day for schoolwork so they could be tracked and supported. However, Le Havre have a whole different department designed to help students, especially during this time where they are de-socialised, as a club source tells us. This is also to make sure another Dimitri Paet story does not occur. Payet said he felt neglected at the club in the late 90s and early 90s. If he was to join Le Havre now though, he would have a structured framework to make sure he has an individual tutor to help him through his needs. Le Havre are also willing to give players a second chance. They will regularly check the release lists of other big clubs like Lyon and PSG. Now, we at Continental Aspire could not conclude this video without taking a peek into the next age of talent to come through at Le Havre. Despite the club struggling in Ligue 2 this season, there are plenty of talents to keep an eye out for. 21-year-old right-back Woyo Koulibaly stands at 6'2" and shows a fantastic movement for a Ligue 2 right-back. Going forward, he has a great understanding of when to overlap and to underlap and support the attack. He also shows great physicality. 17-year-old Souleymane Isaac Touré is another tall defender, this time a centre-back, who has already signed his first professional contract. This was because Le Havre have recently lost Loic Bardet to Lens and Pogba to Marseille due to their youth contracts being run down. They believe in Touré and have already promoted him to the senior side. Many may still be unconvinced by this small Ligue 2 side's ability to produce amazing talent in a perceived weak league. French football is often questioned in terms of its skill, but do not let the baseless claims put you off. Le Havre are doing a phenomenal job at creating the nation's best talent. Besides, Didier Drogba has written in his autobiography that Ligue 2 was as hard, if not harder, than the Premier League and Ligue 1 due to the physical demands of players and teams. That physicality combined with Le Havre's systematic educational and intellectual approach is helping create the next Paul Pogba and Riyad Mahrez. With such a rich history and players like Lyon's Tino Kadewere and Paet of Marseille examples of the more recent expert work of the club, Le Havre are an enigma in French football. Thank you very much for watching Continental Aspire Soccer. Be sure to leave a comment down below on how we can improve and subscribe to check out more of the channel of some of our great podcasts with some of the best guests in world football.